간헐적 단식은 지금껏 제가 경험한 다이어트 중 가장 쉽고 효과적인 방법이었습니다. 특히 지속하는데 아무런 어려움이 없어 시작한 지 3년이 지난 지금은 완전히 생활습관으로 자리 잡았습니다. 저는 몇 년 전까지만 해도 매일 단 한 끼도 거르지 않고 이른바 밥심'으로 살아왔던 사람입니다. 그만큼 처음에는 단식에 대해 이런저런 걱정이 많았습니다. 그리고 어떻게 해야 하는지, 뭘 주의해야 하는지 궁금한 것도 많았습니다. 오늘은 당뇨병 전문의이자 북미 최초의 간헐적단식 클리닉 설립자인 제이슨 펑 박사가 전하는 단식의 기초 가이드를 소개해드리겠습니다. 첫 번째, 단식이란 무엇인가? 단식은 단지 굶는 것이 아닙니다. 무계획적인 굶주림과 스스로 음식을 먹지 않는 기간을 정하는 단식에는 큰 차이가 있습니다.
And the key word here is voluntary. You're always in control when you fast. What it means is that there's food available, but you choose not to eat it. And the reasons are up to you. Starvation, on the other hand, is when you don't know when food is going to be available. That's not what fasting is. This is a conscious decision on your part that you're always in control of this process. You can start fasting at any time, you can stop fasting at any time. If you don't feel well, you can stop. If you do feel well, you can start. You can do more or less. It's always voluntary, and that's the key difference between fasting and starvation.
두 번째, 단식을 하면 안 되는 사람은 누구인가? 단식은 몸속의 과도한 영양소와 칼로리로 인한 부작용을 줄여주는 가장 효과적인 방법입니다. 당뇨병, 고지혈증 등 현대인들에게서 발생하는 많은 질병은 과도한 영양 섭취가 원인인 경우가 많으니 대부분의 사람들에게 단식은 건강에 이로울 것입니다. 하지만 반대로 영양소가 필요한 상황에서 단식을 하면 득보다 실이 많으니 주의해야 합니다.
And in certain conditions, you want to make sure you're getting enough nutrients. That is, if you're a child, that is, you're growing, or if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, then it's very important to get enough nutrients. So those people should not do long fasts. There's also other situations, if people are underweight or if they're malnourished for any reason, of course, then again, nutrients are very important, and those are situations where you don't want to fast. However, in most other cases, for adults, anybody can fast. In some situations, you should really talk to your doctor. If you're taking medications, for example, some need to be taken with food. And in those cases, you should talk to your doctor about how you should adjust your medications so that you can fast. The other situation is if you're on medications that are going to affect your blood sugar. So make sure that you talk to your doctor if you're really taking any medications at all. If you have a history of eating disorders or anorexia nervosa, then you might want to be careful and also speak to your doctor.
세 번째, 얼마나 길게 자주 해야 하나? 제이슨 펑 박사는 간헐적 단식의 빈도와 기간은 원하는 대로 정할 수 있다고 말합니다. 하지만 좋다고 해서 처음부터 너무 길게 자주 하면 컨디션이 무너질 수 있는데요. 단식에 대해 초기에 한번 안 좋은 경험을 하면 다시는 안 하게 될 가능성이 높아집니다. 그러니 간헐적 단식이 여러분의 생활에 스며들도록 횟수와 기간은 천천히 점진적으로 늘려가세요.
You can fast anytime you feel like it. So you can fast once a year, you can do it once a month, once a week, or even every day. And how long you fast for is completely up to you. You could just fast from dinner until breakfast the next day. That's 12 or 14 hours. You could go to 16 hours, which is called time-restricted eating. You could go to 24 hours, like a one meal a day schedule, or you can do multiple day fasts. The world record for fasting is 382 days. So there's really no upper limit to fasting. You can also vary it up. So if you're on holidays, you're going on a cruise, or it's Christmas time, you can fast if you want to, or you can stop fasting. Maybe after Christmas, you might want to do some more just to lose some of the weight. So you can turn it on, turn it off, start, stop, whatever you feel like. It's completely up to you.
네 번째, 단식의 효과는 무엇인가? 대부분의 사람들이 다이어트를 목적으로 단식을 시작하지만 사실 다이어트는 단식으로 인한 효과 중 아주 작은 일부분일 뿐입니다. 제이슨 펑 박사의 환자들의 후기를 보면 심각했던 당뇨병 환자들도 당뇨약을 끊어도 될 만큼 증상이 호전되었다는 사례가 많습니다. 그 외에도 단식은 다양한 건강 개선 효과와 생활 속 이점이 있으며 제이슨 펑 박사는 이를 가장 위트 있고 설득력 있게 말하는 전문가 중 한 명입니다.
Probably the most obvious one is to lose weight. And it's a great way to lose weight. After all, if you don't eat, you're going to lose weight. But there's a lot of other health benefits to fasting. You can reverse your type 2 diabetes. So if you don't eat, your blood sugars will fall. And that's going to let you manage your blood sugars without taking medications. And if you reduce your weight and reverse your type 2 diabetes, that's going to put you at far less risk of all types of diseases like heart disease, stroke, cancer, and these are the biggest problems that we face in health today. But other than that, lots of people feel better when they're fasting. That's why people often say it's a cleansing period or a detoxification. So a lot of people feel that they have more energy when they're fasting. And they feel that they can think more clearly, and there's good reasons why that might be. But there's also other more practical reasons. It's a way to save time, it's a way to save money, it's a way to simplify your life.
다섯 번째, 어떻게 해야 하는가? 단식의 가장 기본적인 원칙은 물 이외의 음식은 먹지 않는 것입니다. 하지만 단식을 유지하는 시간과 허용하는 음식에 따라 종류를 나누기도 합니다. 어떤 방식을 선택하든 본인의 자유입니다. 하지만 저는 짧은 시간이라도 단식의 느낌과 효과를 확실히 체감할 수 있는 전통적인 방식, 즉 물 이외에는 어떤 음식도 먹지 않는 단식을 한 번쯤 해보시는 걸 추천드립니다. 특정 음식을 허용하는 순간 생각이 복잡해지고 단식이 어렵게 느껴질 수 있기 때문입니다.
And it can differ along two major pathways. One is what is allowed during the fasting period. A classic fast is water only. But there's many different ways to change that, many variations. You can allow, for example, green tea, herbal teas, black tea, coffee with cream, or even bone broth. And while these are not classic fasts, you can still do very well with these fasts, so don't rule them out. You can really fast for any period of time. But there's two very popular regimens. One popular regimen is called time-restricted eating. It's also called a 16-8, and what it means is that you fast for 16 hours and you eat during an 8-hour window. So for example, you might decide to start eating at 11 a.m. and eat only until 7 p.m. and then after 7 p.m. you'll stop. Another popular regimen is a 24-hour fast, which is sometimes also called a 1 meal a day. Here you might eat from breakfast to breakfast or dinner to dinner, for example, giving you close to a 24-hour period where you're not eating. These fasts are very popular, and generally the longer fasts you might do less often. So while a time-restricted eating you might do 6 to 7 days per week, a 1 meal a day schedule most people will do 3 to 4 times a week. But there's nothing stopping you from doing more or less according to your needs. So if you're just starting to fast, what would I recommend? I would start by cutting out snacks for a week, just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you can progress to a 16-hour fast or time-restricted eating. And during that period of time, you might allow green tea, herbal teas, and coffee with a little bit of cream, but no sweetener. This is a very lax variation, just to let you get used to it. If you're getting great results, then continue. There's no reason to stop. If you're not getting the results you're hoping for, then you can slowly change it to a longer fast or maybe more of a classic water-only fast. But remember, whatever you do, make sure that you're staying safe and healthy while you're doing it, you're feeling well, and keep on going.
간헐적 단식은 한번 하고 끝내는 이벤트가 아닙니다. 일정 기간 지속해야 하고 생활 습관으로 정착되어야 그 효과를 제대로 체감할 수 있습니다. 따라서 몸이 적응할 시간을 충분히 주세요. 사람들은 단식의 효과만 강조하고 그 과정에서 아무 어려움이 없을 것처럼 말하지만 직접 해본 입장에서 말하자면 꼭 그렇지만은 않습니다. 하루 세 끼의 간식까지 꼬박꼬박 챙겨 먹던 사람이 16시간 동안 아무것도 먹지 않으면 당연히 배가 고픕니다. 그리고 나머지 식사에서는 식욕을 조절하지 못해 과식하게 되는 건 누구나 겪을 수 있는 일입니다. 어떤 일이든 변화는 어렵고 특히 오래된 습관을 바꾸는 건 쉽지 않습니다. 가장 최악의 선택은 시작부터 무리해서 했다가 도저히 못해 먹겠다고 느껴 그만두는 것입니다. 단식은 정말 돈 한 푼 들이지 않고 평생 써먹을 수 있는 방법인데 안 하기엔 너무 아까워요.
So just remember that everything is hard when you get started. You're not used to it. Everything seems so difficult. But if you keep doing it over and over again, you get used to it. Same thing for fasting. At first it's going to feel very strange not to eat. But the more you do it, the more you get into the habit of it. For example, I don't eat breakfast very much. And it's really easy for me to skip breakfast because I'm in that habit. It doesn't feel strange for me to skip breakfast. It feels strange for me to have breakfast. If you make it a habit, you're going to be able to do it day after day after day without even thinking about it. But if you make it a habit, you're going to have automatic weight loss.
이상한 다이어트였습니다.